That's right, guys. Well, it is time. Let's take it into our first game of EU. Take it away, gentlemen.
And it all begins. This is going to be week 2, day number 1. And already we see big names taken out. Versu at Sweaty Sands. The king is down. Mongraal taken out in his first game. Yeah, and it's not just Mongraal. So many people who've had reputations in their mind of themselves are going to use this first game to try to get rid of them. In that process, though, we might see opportunities where they just, delve right back and relapse, having a bad kind of circumstance happen to them in these box fights. But already we see the Vic up against Hardy, trying to make that not a circumstance, a situation, trying to end this fight fast, has the shield advantage on the box as well, but there's third parties looming. We know how these fights end up going if they aren't ended fast. Already I think that's C4 that gets thrown from distance, and after that, some more shots coming in. The Vic is now on the run.
That he is, and with no builds because of the early game engagement, I think these guys are both going to get wiped. Yes, he has his opponent low, but Downs in the bush. Hold on, Vic actually beamed him for a second there and forced him to get off the trail. He's going to continue the pressure through, and there's a whited floor that makes it so Vic can actually shoot that, but still no materials to be able to try to take that wall, and look how many third parties are coming in.
A war on multiple fronts for Vic, and he's just trying to get as many points as possible here. Takes out Hardy, then goes for the person who was trying to get in. A cheeky shot, hopefully a last hit on that player who was in the box, but now he's trapped on the back wall. Does build up a few layers. The Vic out of mats has to operate from low ground. I think got his elimination stolen as well previously in terms of the loot.
Which is no siphon, which is no materials. I'm not even thinking about the HP. The materials is what he needs to survive the onslaught, because Anas, who has claimed the house of the agency loot, is right here. Downs has gotten out, and Anas just has to fight the Vic with no materials. That's an easy cleanup, and I think what we're seeing here is people not being ready for how spread out players are going to be on the map in these games, because top 300 again.
Now we see Tads trying to make a better circumstance of his position, but once again, immediate defensive capabilities from his opponent, building up multiple layers. We're seeing these box fights, things that should be slightly low-key, waiting for these things to happen slowly, just explode straight with builds up to the sky. No one can stay hidden. This means third parties will come in even more so, but if Tads has the opportunity to move up and get this fight done, he does. The SMG beam is there, and he takes out Bryzy. Never-ending game to game, and when you're inside these games too, they take so long to get delved and get done, because we know both players will have such good loot and shields to boot as well. But right now, Red Rush taking the first shot of damage. It's not too big. After that, responding back with shots of his own, trying to find a way to get in, but he's taking way too much on the trade. He gets taken out. It's going to be Bafo who wins out on that one.
So from the agency to the yacht, he seems to be a dominant presence at Mythic POIs, and you just have the boat if he needs to rotate out.
These are kind of the solo lull moments you'll see on one side of the map. The loot's still going on, but with how big the lobby is, you'll see fights breaking out in spots you wouldn't expect. Right now, Fury Legendary up in the bush. I think this man will be the operating factor of this fight, because he's not in it yet. And we've seen so far, every third party that comes through is usually the winner of the fight. He's letting this one ramp all the way up. Ermoon will be the person we're tuning in with, going for shots, being on the forefront of these wall takes of damage as well, because he's taken 40, just trying to get aggressive here. He has a little bit of loot, but it's not the things that you need for endgame. Suddenly, in a 50-50 position, has to escape, gets it done, and now Fury makes the decision to actually move away towards agency and towards zone, where we know that Coolest Carrot will have the utmost advantage as well.
You gotta be careful if you're Ermoon, and he does. He backs up in the box time and time again as Froggy tries to jump in, and that's not the playstyle you're going to want to have against players who are so good at avoiding, so good at getting away from situations, and also realizing that you're about to jump in their box.
Yeah, and this is someone who jumped in the most aggressive player's box on the other side of things from Downs. It's Versa. We saw take out Mongraal in that early game, now stuck between a bridge where we have an entire audience looking at this fight go down, a river, and an aggressive player on his box with white HP. It's not going to be possible for him to survive much longer. He ultimately gets taken out, I believe, by Downs here in a few more swings of the wall. He's looking for that big shot, misses off the first chance, then gets it. It's Downs who has this entire area now to play with. Both players' builds for his base.
I don't know. I think we're going to be sticking to land slightly south of Pleasant Park in between Salty Springs. Zermoon picks one up from range. I think we will be. There might be the river in between, but for the most part, I think we're safe. And I think everybody's breathing a sigh of relief as that fourth zone did reveal. He's a champion, but right now he's sitting in a bush. And maybe showing off that all strategies are valid no matter what. This is going to resonate with a lot of different people. But look at that trigger discipline for Andalex. And oh my goodness, this is a really, really good player. Anas runs into the bush and he takes him out. He makes it work. Andalex might be a champion. Almost takes a shot, but opts not to, as the player in the distance getting sprayed from multiple different angles. And there he does finally decide he wants to take a shot. Is he gonna hit? No.
Ooh, but he finds the tags afterward. Fanta going down, who we saw was also so monumental.
And as the scores develop, don't forget these players are getting very, very close to a number of placement thresholds as they approach top 50. That's going to be the next one for an extra point. But, ooh, Andalex with the beautiful shot there. Finds a gap where Zeno is sticking, and he makes it work. So it might be quiet, but Andalex finding all sorts of opportunities. And he finds one. Actually finds Bafo, who we saw at the very beginning of this game, take out Red Rush. And he has the yacht loot. So, interestingly enough, that could be a free launch pad for Andalex. Or not Andalex, sorry, Nate.
I mean, not anymore. Lukey instantly takes him out. Possible box fight that he desperately had to try to take. Remember, Storm Surge was active there, and we can see what it makes the best players do. But think about it right now. We have Ermoon, Mage, Andalex. So many top players left in this lobby. This is just game one, and these are not customs, Bala.
Not customs. And we're going to continue to see this throughout the entire day. About 3 games all concurrently going on at the same time. We might be hopping around into various different ones so we can get an eye and vision on how everybody's performing throughout the day. But man, oh man.